a gentleman you want to meet and greet. He remains the youngest presidential aspirant and by definition, Chairman, Chief Executive Officer of DNF Oil and Gas, Dr. Nicolas Felix. Dr. Felix, are you there? Greetings, I greet you. How are you?
Oh, good evening, sir. I'm doing excellently well. Thank you for having me. Good to be here with you guys.
Okay, then. So what can you tell us here ahead of August 1st?
Yes, there's a lot to say regarding this planned protest. I needed to come out this evening to lend my voice. First of all, as an advocate for youth in governance, I am glad to see that the youth are are interested about governance in our nation. That is quite exciting. And according to Section 40 of the 1999 Constitution as amended, every Nigeria has the free right of assembly. By so free right, to protest. We can't take that away. And I'm glad everybody has acknowledged that. And President Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration is not denying that. And he's a Democrat. We understand that. But my fear is this protest has already been hijacked. One of the reasons I came out tonight to lend my voice is to plead with the Nigerian youth. We are not saying to protest is wrong. It is our fundamental right. I understand things are difficult, and the president has acknowledged that over and over again, through his speeches, through press statements. He understands that things are, very tough. And you can see that the president is working very, very hard. Nobody can deny that. Yes, it's going to take time and process. But this protest is not going to just end up as a peaceful protest. I'm seeing flyers already. People are even doing hashtag Day of Range. And many of us are just concerned about government properties. As much as I'm concerned about, government properties being vandalized, I'm very concerned about the properties and businesses of the average Nigerian on the street. That is why it shouldn't be just journalists or government officials lending their voice now. The traders, those of us who have supermarkets, entrepreneurs, you have to lend your voice because I'm afraid they are going to be the ones that will suffer the most. Thugs are going to invade these protests, and there's going to be vandalization, there's going to be looting. Think about a woman who has a small supermarket, or the barber, those who are struggling out there to make ends meet. At the end of the day, if this protest takes place and their shops are vandalized, where are they going to start from? The government is not going to end up building stores for them. So as much as we are concerned about government properties, I'm more concerned that the average Nigerian are going to lose a lot. Let me share a brief story of what happened to you. A few months ago, I have a filling station, one of our filling stations here in Kwakashe. The government, they are dualizing the road. And just by that single act, hoodlums were breaking into stores. My filling station worth hundreds of millions would have been vandalized if not that the DPOs came to our rescue immediately. So that's to tell you, every little chance thugs have, they're going to invade this protest. And it's no longer just going to be a protest. And the intention of the Nigerian youth to go and protest, to call the attention of the president and the government is going to be aborted. So I'm saying to all Nigerian youth, I'm saying to our mothers, to our fathers out there, call your sons and daughters to order that this is the wrong time to go into this protest. Again, we are not saying protest is wrong, but we are saying this has already been hijacked. Let's give the president time to work. I listen to commentaries a lot. Both opposition, everybody is saying the same thing. The president is acting. The president is listening. If there's one thing I've come to really appreciate about President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the man listens. He acts. No matter how it looks, the people go out, even with appointments, you see many times names are released and they are withdrew because the man is listening. So that's why when I hear people say the president has been caged, he does not know what is going on, that is far from it because the president is listening, is acting. For example, yesterday the governors gathered, traditional rulers gathered discussing about this. The president is listening, and I'm quite sure a few days from now, a few weeks, we'll be seeing more action. We need to give this administration more time. For this protest, I am vehemently against it, not because it's not about democratic right to do, because it has already been adjourned. And I'm telling you categorically, they are going to be hungry. It's going to be the purpose of the protest will be aborted. So it's the wrong time for us to go into it.
Yeah, Dr. Felix, I'm interested in that line. The protest has already been hijacked. Who or what by?
No, I mean, it is no news that there are some people who are still not, they've not moved on from the election. Let's not deceive ourselves. That is very true. There are some people who have not moved on from, losing the election. If I were them, I'll be looking forward to the next election. There are just some people who want to make governance very difficult, just to have something to say. Now, a lot are going on. Subsidy was removed. So much the president is putting in place. Everybody's working out to get things going. Imagine protests, which will lead to heavy riots, government properties burned down, supermarket looted, fire all over the place. Now we're going to be talking about, look at it now, 1 week we're talking about riot, nothing else, no policy being discussed. Imagine for another 1 month, another 2 months, that we are trying to build what we already have. There are people who have not moved on. You can see it in the postcard already printed. You see it on WhatsApp pages. But this is not just protest of hardship. This is protest. Let's make things difficult. Let's prove to the world that we said it in the first place. Every Nigerian who is patriotic, if you really love this nation, this is the time to join forces for things to work. When we get close to election campaigning, I'm sure you have a lot to campaign about. But for now, I can tell you that this protest has already been hijacked. And the reason I use my filling stations as an example is because it wasn't the government that sent the talk. Because that's one thing you're going to be hearing. As soon as you hear breaking, as soon as you see talks coming in, you're going to hear is the government that sent the talks to go and invade this protest. It was peaceful. That dualization of the road, government was dualizing it, which we love. It wasn't the government that sent talks. There are going to be people who are going to see this as an opportunity. You mark today, this is the 26th of July. I'm saying it. People are going to use the opportunity to go and steal. We don't want that to happen. I'm concerned about government property, but I'm more concerned about the businesses and the properties of private individuals who may take another years to recover from this. We don't want that at this moment.
All right, Dr. Felix, I have two of my colleagues here. They have a question each for you. Ibn, go first.
Okay, what I want to tell him is, what exactly are you going to advise Mr. President as regards your thoughts of the protest being hijacked already? So what do you advise the federal government, the state government to do to make sure that whatever level the hijackers have taken over the protest, how can the government salvage the situation as we speak?
Especially because you said Mr. President is a listening president. Go on.
Oh, yes. I mean, everybody knows that Mr. President is a listening president. And I must commend those around him, the young men around him who pass information, because we see President react just on social media. You would think he has no clue of what's going on social media. So I give them kudos for that. Now, first of all, I would love to see the president address the nation, address the youth. He's our father, as the father of the nation. Doesn't matter what party you belong to, APC, whatever you are. If you're a Nigerian citizen, we expect to see the president, probably Sunday, Monday, speak to us, the youth, to let us know what is going on. And number two, of course, our police force, they need to be on alert. I was sharing with somebody today. I said, I would rather see the police force over-prepared than under-prepared. I wouldn't want them things to catch us unaware. We don't want properties to be burned down. We don't want businesses to be burned down. So we want to see the police being proactive in curbing those who are going to invade. And that's why if it's possible, I would say let there not be protests. But of course, there are still people who are going to come out. But the police need to be on guard to make sure that our private properties are secured and as well as government properties. But first, it would be nice to see that the president address the nation. But also, I must say this, the governors, I'm quite disappointed that in this case, all we hear and see is just about the president, the president. There's robbery in a state, you hear the president. If something is going on in the state, the president. Where are the governors? We're not hearing anything from the governors. The governors are not speaking. Even if you can't come out as a governor to speak, where are your spokesperson? We're not hearing enough from the governors. And that kind of breaks my heart that governors are not doing anything. Even when it comes to the issue of palliative, I know we're talking about protests. Even when it comes to the issue of palliative, are you aware that the monthly allocation to these states has increased by over 40%? Some states even get 50%, and yet they do nothing. Everything is about the president, the president. We want to see governors come out with press statements. If you cannot speak, your spokesperson, they should be speaking now, appealing to the Nigeria youth, speaking to our mothers to speak to their sons, to speak to their daughters. The traders, they have to understand that this is going to affect them more. Not just government properties. You that own a barbershop, you that own a supermarket, you own one little kiosk. This will affect you more if riots break out in the midst of this protest. So there need to be more spoken, they need to come out. I want to see private citizens come out. I know we're not happy the way things are going, but I want you to look beyond just the government. Look at the average citizen that will suffer from this. So first, I would love to see the president speak on this, and also the governors, not just the president. Each governor, you are the chief security officer of your state. So if there's riot in Edo State, the governor is responsible. If there's riot in Lagos State, it's not the president. The governor is responsible. So they have to take accountability and responsibility of whatever goes on in their state. By now, the governor should be meeting with the commissioner of police in their state, meeting with the local government police, seeing how they can keep their state safe. There shouldn't be fire in Ekiti, and you're calling the president. That's why we have governors. It's so sad now everything is about the president, the president. The other day, Labour they've been going on strike, they've been discussing with the president on minimum wage. How come Labour have not met with their state governors to say, what do you do to alleviate the poverty of the citizens? Are you aware we have a union called NURT, National Union of Road Transport Association? I'm saying to myself, how come governors have not approached this union in their state and tell them, how do we subsidize transportation locally in this state? Give us strategy, give us structure, whereby, for example, for Benin to Lagos, if it was 8,000 before and now it's 12,000, how do we subsidize it as a state where you reduce the price now? These unions are there. Are they only there for strike? Are they only there for protest? The governors are not doing enough. They need to be able to see how they can put their state together. By the time each state begins to handle the issue, the pressure will be much at the federal level. I think the pressure is just too much because everything is about the president, the president. As much as we want the president to speak, I want to see governors from their state speak from your office. Let us know that you're taking this serious. If you can't speak, send your spokesperson, send your media aide to go and speak. Appeal to the average Nigerian that this is not the time to protest. I want to see the governor speak.
Thank you, Dr. Felix. We'll take a break now, go on a commercial break, but please, we'll get back to you very shortly. Thank you.
Quality wires and cables on. Come and come back, light up your life. Come and want to light up your house. Come and want to give you better. Come and next to ordinary wire. Come and cables, come and wires, come and quality, come and durable, come and capable. Come and cables, come and wires, come and quality, come and durable, come and capable. Everybody. Come and wires, one in a days. Brother, sister, uncle, auntie, go get your own. Come and wires, come and cables, come and quality, come and durable, come and capable. Come and wires, come and cables, come and quality, come and durable, come and capable.
Coleman Wires and Cable. Great quality. Now with the new look.
All right, welcome back, folks. We still have Dr. Nicolas Felix guesting with us now. Dr. Felix, are you there?
Yes, I'm here with you.
Okay, recall that former President Muhammadu Buhari signed the Not Too Young to Run bill into law in 2020. Do I remember 2019 or 2018?
2018, yes.
2018. But between then and now, how many youths like you have dared to challenge the senior boys in the ring, if you understand what I mean?
Yes. I remember in 2018, I was actually 36 years old. then in my party, the issue was your age cutoff mark, we don't think you can make it. That was when Muhammadu Buhari signed it. And that gave me the privilege to be able to contest at the age of 37, 2019. And I was a presidential candidate and actually came third position in the general election. So, and that was a great move by the president. And I still regard and respect him today. But if you ask me, I think we have a president who is youth-friendly. You see it in all his appointments, even in the cabinet, youth ministers, women being there. So, and I would want to encourage every youth. The day the president picked up the certificate of election, I want every Nigerian youth, please, do me a favor. Go and listen to the speech of Mr. President. I was writing that, or I'll tell you, I was excited. Everything in me was bubbling up that finally we have a president who will give us the opportunity as youth to thrive in politics. Because that's one thing that, you know, we've always struggled with. And one of the reasons, even the nomination for was 100 million naira, one of the reasons I went for that was just to have a youth voice. So having a president who, you know, believes in the youth, and again, this is not just politics, you see it in all the appointments. I can tell you there are more younger people, you know, around the president than even elderly ones. Again, we don't hate our fathers and our senior boys, like you said, but, you know, the population of Nigeria is more youth. And the president made a statement that day that he is the president that we hand over. I will not be surprised that when President Bola Ahmed Tinubu finishes, he will be the president that will go on record that it was the one that handed over to you, because he's already playing out. So that's why I'm even saying to the youth, I know things are bad, but we have a president who is youth-friendly. Yes, we look at all the other things, subsidy that was removed, and all of these other things going on, but this is not the president that is not listening to us. He's listening to us as young men and women. He's adhering to what we say. And I'm quite sure in the next few days, you'll be seeing policies. Look at the student law, for example. Where in the history of Nigeria have you heard about student law? Over 15,000 people apply as of the very 2 days when it was signed into law. Now I'm sure they will be in the tens of thousands. Where have you heard that before? I lived over 2 decades in America. So when I see some of these things he's implementing, I'm saying to myself, wow, is sticking beyond just the society, what we know as norm in Nigeria. So we have a president who is youth-friendly. My only hope is everyone who, young men and women who have the opportunity to serve in governance, to be able to not disappoint us, so we don't become a mockery. Next time we are talking about youth in governance, you know, so our fathers or our senior boys don't ridicule us and say, how many of you were given a position and yet you did not perform? So the atmosphere is clear. The ground is a playing field for us as young men and women. We don't want to mess it up. We are here to support the president. We are here to let the president know we support your administration. We see what you're doing. We see all the policies you are putting in place. My only admonition will be, we want to hear more. We want to hear some of the people around the president speak more. We want the communication to be very, very effective. That's the only part. Look at the local government autonomy that was signed. Now, local government can function very well. We didn't even hear much from the government about that. It was even opposition, people from social media who were speaking about that. That's a great move for the president. I expect even the local government chairman to even come out and congratulate the president for giving them such power. It means you can go and contest now as the local government chairman and not be afraid of what the governor will say. Well, I haven't heard any of these local government chairmen come out to even say thank you to Mr. President. You have given us power, now we can work. We want to see more of this. It's not only when something not going well we speak about, something not going right we speak about. That is a great move when it comes to democracy. Now our local government have the power, they have the will to do the right thing. But nobody have said thank you to Mr. President. I'm not the chairman of a local government, I don't intend to be one. But we are saying thank you to him because we know what that will do to the structure of the state and to our local government.
Thank you, Dr. Felix. One last question from my colleague here.
Well, it's actually not a question. There are reactions to some of the things he said earlier, which, of course, I'm worried when people are saying that the process has not been started, have been hijacked. I'm worried because when Afunanya is saying that they've uncovered plots to unseat the government, I wonder how we came about those issues and people want to protest. And so, and that's why from there I have to advise even those who are planning to go on protest not to go on protest, because if they do, it may never all go well for anybody. Yeah. It may turn out to be very violent, because There are too many interests.
We have been there before.
There are too many interests right now. It's not even the first hour of the protest. We're already being told, even from official quarters, that it has been hijacked. She just asked him, who by? He said, well, hoodlums and hoodlums. Who are these hoodlums? Maybe outside Nigeria, I don't know. So I am going to be appealing to those who are part of the plot or plan to protest, and even those who are going to be joining. Please, I think for now, this may not be an auspicious time for you to go on the streets, because as you have been told, it has been hijacked. You may not know who has hijacked it, so that you can protest another time, but not for now, because for now, it may not actually go the way it should go. Then, can I also, about the governors are not being told or something?
No.
Is it whether governors go to...
Time is the master on
governors
the show.
go to Abuja every time to come.
Time is the master on the show.
Okay,
let's thank Dr. Nicolas Felix for his time. Dr. Nicolas, we wish you well. Thank you very kindly for your intervention. Bye-bye now.
All right. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Okay, then.